Dr. Doss prepared those delightful confections too strong for her to act better. Claribel was overjoyed with her treasures. Nothing could now stop her becoming an artist that she always dreamt of. Claribel was overjoyed with her treasure. Nothing could now stop her becoming an artist that she always dreamt of. Then she went to a shopping store, but foolishly forgot the little box on the ribbon counter. The box was inadvertently swept up among other purchases by a 12 years old girl named Bessie Bostwick. As she arrived home and saw the box of bonbons, she didn't remember having picked them up. She knew it was someone else's package that had come to them by mistake. But after all, they were only bonbons and they looked so delicious. And then she decided to pick one and try it out. So she picked the chocolate one. She suddenly felt an urge so strong to go and play the piano. Bessie knew only two pieces at the keyboard, though she suddenly launches into a superb performance of Beethoven's Seventh Piano Sonata. She played on and on in a rapture. Her mother hears the music and nearly faints when she realizes that Bessie is the player. So Mrs. Bostwick sat down on sofa and listened the melodious music. Mr. John Bostwick, father of Bessie, arrived home in the evening. He was surprised to hear such a superb music played by his daughter, who was an infant prodigy. A little later, the bell rang, and the important guests, the senator and Yale professor, arrived. They all heard Bessie play, and a colorful bonbon dish seems so desirable when one is hungry. So, hungry Mr. Bostwick ate Pink Bonbon, the one with the power of singing. Even the dinner guests liked their sweets. They eyed the box of bonbons longingly. The father quickly offered them the bonbons, while the professor was quick to gobble the yellow one, and senator quite dignifiedly put the lavender bonbon in his pocket, saving it for later. Mrs. Bostwick, who was curiously listening to the piano, took the last white bonbon, that is the remaining one in the dish, the one with the oratory skills. Now Claribel Sudds' precious bonbons are finished forever. Suddenly, Mr. Bostwick started singing in high pitch, which was not matching with what Bessie was playing on piano. On the other hand, Mrs. Bostwick started showcasing her oratory skills and cried in horrified voice, "William!" Later on, dinner gongs sounded and Mrs. Bostwick guided a guest into the dining room. The dinner followed an exercise in chaos. Yale professor started kicking his soup dish to the ceiling that the maid served them before the dinner. Mrs. Bostwick switched her poetry from the charge of the light brigade to the boy stood on the burning deck. Bessie plays the overtune to the Flying Dutchman. Her father sings, "Oh, promise me." The senator was frightened, shivered by this disgraceful, noisy disturbances, and he retreats from this scene of madness that he had never seen or heard in a decent family. The senator had to give a huge speech to hundreds of people in the town hall the following afternoon, but he is so upset by the dinners at the Bostwick that he had trouble preparing for the speech. The next day, Senator met Mr. Bostwick on the day and was angry with him. Mr. Bostwick was upset too with what happened in the dinner party and didn't had any clue with how to react now. Yale professor and Bostwick family were being seated in one of the front rows in the town hall. When the senator saw the crowd at town hall, he became nervous and then he dug into his pocket for he found it the bonbon. He opened it and gobbled it up. A few minutes later, he started dancing on the stage like a ballet dancer. Claribel Sutts is in the audience and leaps up to accuse the senator of stealing his bonbons. She is rushed out by the ushers. The senator's friend similarly escort him into seclusion through he dances all the way. It took months for the senator to recover his reputation and his dignity. The Bostwick family and professor returned the normality more quickly. Meanwhile, Claribel acquired a new box of magic bonbon from Dr. Doss and launches a successful stage career. Claribel had finally achieved her lifelong dream of being on stage. But she was not prepared for how fame would affect her life. News of her talent quickly spread throughout Boston, and people would often come up to her to ask to perform in theatre. Claribel ate bonbons around the clock in order to stay talented at all times. The theme of the chapter is when we rely on others' talents to fulfill our dreams, it never works out. Instead, we should put in hard work to fulfill our dream. A dream does not become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. With hard work, one can achieve anything. Hard work is the magical key to success. And we should never pick the package that's not ours, is the great learning of today. So, students, I hope you understood this chapter nicely. Now, please read the chapter thoroughly for deeper understanding. Thank you.